Alright guys, now let's go. So exercise 2, now read the article quite quickly to find 3 problems with producing electricity in the Sahara. No, we don't need to do that. You just go right in and answers all of the questions there, okay? From 1 to 13. Okay? Now let's try to fix everything, and you must tell me the reason why you got that answer, alright? Now let's fix this. Number 1, what's the answer? What? A, B, something else please. A mention of systems which could be used. What's that? What's the answer? The answer is E. 2. What? B. 3. No, not C. Something else? G. 4. A. 5. E. Alright, 6. What? D? No, F. 7. G. 8. No, not C. E. The answer for 8. E. Okay. 9. 9. A. 10. What? Speak louder, guys. Yeah, mirrors. 11. Steam. 12. Sea what? Sea level? No, depressions. Thirteen. Yeah, irrigation. Okay. Okay, that's good. Now let's try to explain everything. Okay. Alright, now number 1. Nhi, read that please. Yeah, a mention of systems which could not be used. Okay. Now you said that the answer is E, right? That means that we can find information in paragraph E. Now please tell me, where is it? What? Line number 8. Okay, so the answer is from indeed to use renewable sources of power until by the Sahara. Okay. Now tell me some similar words and phrases of something here. You see that for the first question, they already underline some keywords here. Now I want you to tell me all of the similar words or phrases of these words and phrases, just to ensure that you understand everything completely. Now, for example, like the word mansion, what is that? Or the word systems, where can I find it? Where? A mention of systems which could not be used. What? Which one? Okay, Europe will need to build a completely new electrical grid. New electrical grid. That means systems. Okay, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, indeed, to use renewable sources of power, including solar, wind, and tidal, Europe will need to build completely new electrical grids. Yes, that's because existing infrastructures built largely for the local coal-fired plants that supply 80%. Blah blah. Okay, so that's the system. Yeah, could not be used is similar to would not be suitable for carrying blah blah something. Okay, that means it could not be used. Yeah. All right. Okay, so based on that, we can see that the answer is E. Okay. Now number 2. Yes, estimates of the quantity of power the Sahara could produce, and the answer is B, right? Now tell me where. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go on. Yeah, okay, so you say that the answer is right here in paragraph B, from a few years ago to 500 million people, right? Okay, now tell me some similar words and phrases of this statement, like estimates of the quantity of power the Sahara could produce. Like estimates of the word quantity of power, or the Sahara could produce, something like that. Now tell me where we can find information. Where's that? Where is that? Why do you know the answer is B? You can't just say that, oh, that's B, right? Where? Because when they say that which paragraph contains, what is that? Okay, give me a sec, please. All right, now let's continue. Okay, where can we find the information? Estimates the quantity of power the Sarah could produce. Guys, if she can't answer that, please someone else. If you know the answer, just tell me. You don't know. So how could you give me the answer? How? Guess? You just guess or what? You can't just tell me kind of random letters, right? Yeah, they mentioned something like that. Yeah, a smaller square. Okay, a smaller square of 15,500 square kilometers, blah blah, could provide electricity for Europe's 500 million people. Here is an estimate of the quantity of power the Sahara could produce. But that is just kind of a small one, right? Like a smaller square of this one can produce or can provide electricity for Europe's 500 million people. But for Sahara, what is that? How much? In theory, a 90,600 square kilometer chunk of the Sahara. Okay? So you have to start from the beginning. A few years ago, scientists began to calculate just how much energy the Sahara holds. So a few years ago, scientists began to calculate. That means that they estimated that. Okay? And the quantity of power the Sahara could produce, I mean, like just how much energy the Sahara holds. Okay? And then later on, you can read some information like they were astonished at the answer. In theory, a 90,600 square kilometer chunk of the Sahara, smaller than Portugal and a little over 1% of its total area, could yield the same amount of electricity as all the world's power plants combined. So those are kind of information. It just says something about the quality of power the Sahara could produce. You see that? Okay. Now next one, number 3. A suggestion for how to convince organizations about the Sahara's potential. And the answer is G, right? Okay, Như, tell me. Where can we find information? If it can be shown the power from the Sahara can be produced profitably, only that? Only that? Where can I find the word convince? Because they say that a suggestion how to convince organization about the Sahara potential, right? How to convince organization. I don't see, if you read from here to here, I don't see any word which is similar to convince or something. Like convince organizations. Where's that? Or something like a suggestion. Right? A suggestion for how to convince. That means that in this paragraph you can read and you can see some information which how to suggest. Okay, they give some kind of suggestion to convince organizations about the Sahara's potential. Where can we see that? Well, if you read the first few sentences, you will see that Nicholas Dunlop, Secretary General of the London-based NGO Parliament, thinks companies should begin. When they say things, that means that is kind of suggestion. This person thinks companies should do this. That means that is kind of a suggestion for companies to do that, to do something. Okay, and when they say that things companies should begin transmitting small amounts of solar power as soon as blah blah all kind of things. So that means that is a suggestion, and companies here means organizations. Things companies, that means that there is a suggestion for the companies for what they should do to convince, and here they say convince organizations, and organization here is what? What kind of organization are they talking here? Organizations, they mean companies and governments, you know. So what kind of suggestion here? You have to read from the beginning. You say things companies should. Okay, should do what? And here is the content or the main idea of the suggestion. They should do what? The company should begin transmitting small amounts of solar power as soon as the North African plants begin operating. So that's what they should do by linking a few cable lines under the mat. I call it the legal method. He says, build it piece by piece. And if it can be shown that power from the Sahara can produce profitably, he says, and then what? Companies and governments will soon jump in. So companies and governments here, that means that the organization. Okay? So that is a suggestion of what some companies should do, and then to convince some other companies and organization, that is some other companies and governments to jump in. Okay? Convince organization, that means that make them believe in the Sahara's potential. That means that, and what is the Sahara's potential? What can it do? Yeah, they can provide electricity. Okay? That is the Sahara potential. Okay? Yeah, so when you read, you need to understand clearly like that. Now, number 4, a short description of the Sarah at present. And the answer is A, right? Now, where can we find information about that? Well, actually, this one is very simple. A short description of the Sarah at present. Where? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, not yet. Yeah, you are not wrong, but that's really good. But if you just read from for years until in the future, I still can't see anything related to a short description of the Sarah at present. At present, I mean now, right? Yeah, so at present you have to read from here. They believe that blah 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 until solar energy. Because when you read from the beginning, you only see Sahara in the past, right? Here you say for years, I mean for many years, what people believe in, okay? The Sahara has been regarded, I mean that the Sahara has been regarded as something by some people for many years. I mean that's what happened in the past, okay? For years, the Sahara has been regarded by many Europeans as a terra incognita. And then you can see the star right there, and then they explain here, that is Latin, meaning an unknown land. Okay? Sahara is, for many years, many people just think that is an unknown land. That's all. Okay? Of little economic value or importance. That means that it's not very important. It's just kind of an unknown land. That's all. But this idea might soon change completely. So that means many years. So the first sentence you read, that is the what people know about the Sahara in the past, not now, not at the present. You understand? And then you, that's why they said it. But this idea might soon change completely. Okay, it's not correct anymore. And then you read the next one. You say, you see that politicians and scientists on both sides of the Mediterranean are beginning to focus on the Sahara's potential to provide power for Europe in the future. So they are looking at the Sahara potential to provide power for Europe in the future. But again, that is only what they can do in the future. Okay? Now, how about the present? They say they believe that there's a true value comes from the fact that it is dry and empty. Okay? Some areas of the Sahara reach 45 degrees centigrade on many afternoons. It is, in other words, a gigantic natural storehouse of solar energy. So that's what happened right now. So at present, you see? Yeah. Okay. So that's it for our lesson today. We will continue next week. Okay? Yeah?